Hi everyone, it's your girl Anne with an E, and welcome back to another episode of the Root of the Science podcast. Today I'm very excited because this is the first inaugural Root of the Science podcast where I actually have a guest with me, and I'm very excited because today I have a lovely guest and her name is Sharon Migeri. Sharon is a Zimbabwean-born PhD candidate who's based currently in South Africa. She's studying at the University of KwaZulu, Natal, and her research is based on human excreta fertilizer. I'm sure you're all like, what is that? So this interview aims to give you insight on what that is. So stay tuned and thank you so much for taking the time. Sharon, please let me know about you away from the science.
Thank you, Anne, for this opportunity. I'm a proud Zimbabwean, born and raised in Zimbabwe, and I'm also a very passionate scientist and a responsible firstborn in a family of 4 siblings. And I'm also, I would like to think I'm a very good Christian.
Oh, that's great.
Yeah, that's basically about myself.
Okay, so now we found out Sharon away from the science, right? So now everybody here would like to find out what actually made you get into science. What is the root? Like, what were there specific events that led you here, or did you just wake up and you're like, I want to do science? So please tell us about that.
Honestly, I think it was more of societal pressure. Because where I come from, like I said, I'm from Zimbabwe, it's cool to be in the sciences.
Oh, okay.
So when I was in my high school, I always admired those guys in their white lab coats, and they had this huge biology book, and they would like walk with it everywhere.
Yeah.
And for everyone, it was so cool. And all I wanted was to be in that lab coat and have to hold that book. So that's how I ended up in science.
That's so awesome. That's a very interesting story. So you also wanted to be these people as well.
Exactly. I wanted to be part of the cool team.
The cool team.
Yeah.
Okay, with that being said, were your expectations fulfilled in terms of once you became a science,
I would say I became passionate about science when I was doing my master's.
Okay.
I feel like when I was doing my undergrad, when I was doing my high school, I was just moving with the wind. But like I said, I just wanted to be part of the cool team, but I really didn't have that passion or that thing that drives me. But when I was doing my master's, everything changed, and I was so grateful I chose to be in the cool team.
Oh, that's great. So now that you are passionate about the science, because now you're a PhD candidate, can you please tell us about your research? What is what is it all about? And, because it's a very interesting subject, human excreta fertilizer. So can you please just elaborate so that we can hear why you're so passionate about being in the cool team?
Okay. So, I'll give you just a little bit of background. As we know that there is rural to urban migration, so many people are ending up in urban areas, but usually they end up in informal settlements or in areas beyond municipal boundaries, so that they can't get services.
Okay.
So you at the end of the day, you have people defecating everywhere.
What does defecating mean?
Excreting.
Also pooing
everywhere. Yeah, okay. You have people pooing and peeing everywhere.
Oh, wow.
Okay, so now, and it's not just that, it's also from the agricultural perspective, where nutrients keep being mined. When I say nutrients being mined, is whenever you harvest a crop, you are removing nutrients from the soil, but nothing is being taken back, especially in smallholder and small-scale farmers. With the commercial farmers, they have commercial or chemical fertilizers that they take back, but with our small-scale farmers, usually they don't give the soil enough.
So these, when you say small-scale farmers, you mean the little family who's got a backyard,
Exactly.
a backyard garden, and they're growing their own crops, and they don't have money to put in
Exactly.
more fertilizers.
Exactly.
Okay.
So now you have soils that are depleted of nutrients, but at the same time we have this valuable resource that's human excreta that we are just flushing away each and every day. And if you didn't know that in a year your amount of pea can grow a hectare of wheat.
What? That's fascinating. That's very fascinating.
Yeah.
Okay, so that's very interesting. So now that you guys have found out this problem, right? What do you hope your research achieves? So socially and economically, you know, what is the, let's say, I don't want to say the end goal, because obviously this will take some time, but your idealistic end goal, if I can say that.
Okay. So, like I was explaining to you about nutrient mining and all this. So, I am hoping to achieve socially to be able to contribute to people's myths about human excreta, and being able to actually show that there are so many nutrients in human excreta, especially in urine, and so that it can be socially acceptable to be able to grow your crops with poo or pea.
So before you answer the economically part, I just want to link with another question that I wanted to say. So what misconception or myths do people have about your research, especially about human excreta fertilizers?
Okay. So I would say it's in two categories. From the science perspective and then from the social perspective.
Okay.
Because I would expect science people to understand where I'm coming from, but there is so much side eye
from the scientists as well.
Yes, the side eye from the scientists. It's surprising because this is not a new concept. I mean, people have been using poo and pea in their fields, especially in East Asia. But now we are just applying the science to it. And also because of the nature of the society that we're living in now, we're also trying to treat it. We are not just applying it directly as it is. So we are treating it especially to take care of pathogens and inorganic, organic contaminants.
Okay, awesome. So then on the economic aspect, what do you hope your research will achieve?
It's interesting because I've just known something they are calling circular economy now.
Okay.
It seems to be like a buzzword in the economy world.
Oh.
And I see myself fitting in there perfectly because it's all about closing the loop. And this is what using human excreta is doing exactly, because you're taking excreta, putting it back to the soil, you grow crops, you eat, you poo, take it back to the soil. So there is always that circular economy. Nothing is getting lost. Sustainability, if I can say.
Oh, okay. So again, back to the economy. For somebody who is in the economics aspect of it, how are people making money, like, money from this? Like you said, that there's a circular economy, but where in that circular aspect are there people who are actually making, money? That's what drives the world around.
I understand. So I think so far people are still making money from the first part of the value chain,
which is
the making of the toilets, because now they are trying to make toilets that separate the poo and the pee.
Okay.
So already people are doing that, right? There are already people manufacturing toilets that separate the poo and the pee. And then there are people who are coming up with technologies, especially through the Bill and Melinda Gates Reinvent the Toilet Challenge.
Oh, okay.
So they're also coming up with technologies to treat this excreta to be used as a fertilizer. So far, I feel there are people making money in that sense. But towards the end of the value chain because it's still research. There is not really, people are still trying to make business models out of it. I just know of one company in Kenya, can I say?
Yes, sure, please.
Yeah,
what is it?
Sanergy.
Sanergy.
Yeah, Sanergy.
Google it.
Yes. I just know of one company in Kenya that's making excreta fertilizers, and it's actually selling these fertilizers in Kenya. And also another company that's making black soldier fly out of excreta.
Okay.
Also in Kenya.
That's very, very interesting. So what you're doing sounds amazing, right? Do you think young Sharon, when she was younger and she wanted to get into the cool team of becoming a scientist, did you think that she would be here, And with that being said, if there is a young Sharon somewhere out there who might be listening to something like this, who sees different people in science doing really amazing things, what advice would you give them in terms of, being interested in research specifically in your field?
Okay. I would say yes, I saw myself, and no, I didn't. In the sense that I've always been told that I was too ambitious from a young age. And it stayed with me, and instead of bringing me down, I think it actually brought me up, because that ambition, or that too ambitious, didn't stop me from doing anything. And here I am doing excreta research where nobody really wants to go into. And for a young Sharon, I would say
well, while you think on that, just to give you even more motivation, today is actually the International Day of Women and Girls in Science. I think it's even more appropriate that we actually we're doing this today. So, it doesn't have to be something inspirational, but just like you said, especially like you said, somebody who is being told you're too ambitious and you can't do that. What did you have at that young age that you would like them to also have, so that they don't listen to other people?
Okay, I think what I had was a support system.
Okay.
I had an amazing support system, and I like how you have said that today is women and girls in science, but there are heroes behind that, girls and women in science. Specifically for me, my dad was my greatest hero. It's ironic that we are talking about women, but there are heroes behind that. My dad and my brothers were really my heroes. And I would say I was very fortunate that most of the men that matter in my life were a very strong support system. So I think having a strong support system helped me through, and also just not letting that ambition die no matter what. That also helped me through. And to a young Sharon, I would say that find where you're comfortable and take up space.
Take up space. Miss Universe told us.
Yes, to take up space. So it's a matter of knowing who you are, when can you work best, how do you work best. You don't have to follow social norms. If it works for you, do it and take up space.
Oh, thank you, Sharon. That is probably the best way we could end off this interview. Again, thank you so much for taking the time, and thank you so much for taking up space in a world and continuing to have that ambition. I know you personally, and I know that you one of the people who inspire me. So specifically on this day, Day of Women and Girls in Science, you're one of those people who've also inspired me. So just thank you so much. And for anyone who's interested, we'll post all of Sharon's Facebook, Instagram, and Twitter handles. So if you'd like to get in touch to find out more, you can honestly do that. And thank you so much for tuning in to The Root of the Science. It's your girl, Anne, with an E. Until next time, bye.